Hello. So this is the Ideas Forest. That name is comes from Valentin Perez. You can look him up. He has a YouTube video about his notion. It was pretty cool, inspired me, but I wanted to make it a bit more usable for myself. I thought I'm very visual, so I wanted it to be a bit more visual, a bit more like structured. And so that's what I did. So the way this works is there are two kind of um, ways that you can input information, and all of them use the Notion web clipper. So you should get the web clipper extension. I think they have it for Safari or other browsers. I obviously use Chrome, so that's where I got it. But there is one giant database that contains like articles that you find that are interesting, informative, etc. And it contains everything. And what that means is that you can just web clip anything to that one database and not necessarily need to worry about sorting it or finding the correct gallery. Because what I had before was a bunch of different databases, and I had to remember the name of the database when I was web clipping something. And if I wanted it to go to two databases, I had to remember both of them. And sometimes I didn't. And sometimes I wanted to like copy one over to the other. So I decided to instead make one major database. And then what you can do is add tags for specific ideas and then create a page with a linked database that filters for that specific idea or that specific tag. And then there's a second type of page here, which is a standalone databases. For example, recipes are pretty much just going to be in the recipe gallery. They aren't really going to be anywhere else. And so when I web clip a recipe, if I were to web clip a recipe, because I'm a snob and I hate recipes, then I would web clip it just to the recipes gallery. And so in here is actually recipes and food, and it goes back to all of the like food stuff. I'm actually having an idea that I should have had before about how to connect this. But within this, you have the recipe gallery template. So if I were to have a recipe, I would web clip it to the recipe gallery template. My voice is tired from making all of these videos, so I apologize. So I think there might be like a few for like restaurants are another one that's just that. The only other type of thing that exists is quotes, which is just a page for quotes. Just add a quote. That's all. Okay, so let's look at the like world of information page, and then I'll show you what it means to create a linked database for that. So this is a world of information, and to be read/organized means that I haven't added the topics or tags, which means I have only web clipped it. I haven't filtered it. I haven't organized it. So it's just basically everything that I've web clipped that I want to read. And I would love it if Notion allowed me to add tags straight from here. I'm fairly certain I have suggested that to them. Probably made a few suggestions about the web clipper. Like, I think it's fine, but I only think it's fine. It could be so much more. Such a shame. And then there is also like readings that you've tagged as really fundamental readings. So let's get into one of these. So you click it if it's read. You can also have the tags to be read, reading, read. It will automatically fill in the link if it's web clipped, any files that it has, and then here you can add tags. So I think these are some like important tags just to, I don't know, have rating. So I have like these different things, and life-changing is like the most fundamental texts that you've read, things that have really changed the way that you view the world, the way that you interact with the world, etc. Another one might be like, this is a really key text within an area of interest. For example, Jane Jacobs' Life and Death of the Great American Cities is a fundamental text in urban planning. So that would be a fundamental source in a specific category. Very useful, just interesting. So it's just like levels of importance. So life-changing being the most important. Then you can have a type of source. Might be like an article about a new technology. That's what I mean by that. So I wouldn't tag that as an article. I would tag that as a technology, like as a description of a technology. Might be like that I'm web clipping an entire like website just because I think that the website's really cool. A report by an institution, a journal article, a book, a talk, like a TED talk, a blog, a person, or a movie or a show. And here's where you can create tags for different trees. Or is it branches? Yeah, for branches. I forget the names that I gave them. I think it's branches. So I should make that topic branch. And then read by, I just read that as read by. Read by, so like if you have a deadline that you want to read it by, maybe you do, maybe you don't, it doesn't really matter. So you might then give yourself a reminder to read it by then. You can also, actually, I think this would be a great idea to relate it to your master action. Complete. And that basically just allows you to have any actions associated, as well as any actions that you have that are like, oh, this is a good source for that. You can then go in and add that source if you remember. So that's that. And when you web clip it, it will usually automatically fill in the text. So let's find a random New York Times article. So here we'll hit this. And I will web clip it to the world of information. And we'll go, we'll just save that as page. And then we can go back here and we'll be able to see it here. So it'll have the link, and then we can add in all of our info. It's annoying. Usually it will have the text in here, and it has been not doing that very well recently. So I don't exactly know why, but you can go in and copy. Oh, there we go. Here we are. Okay, it just took a moment to load. It'll fill in with the rest of the text, but that's kind of it, and then it'll have a picture. That was the same picture for the thing. And then we can go in and say, like, this was just interesting, and it was a, we should have a distinction between journal article and newspaper article. So I would write newspaper article. So let's say news article. Okay, news article and journal article. I'm just added those there. And this is a news article. Cool, and then I can add it to a different topic. So topic branch. And it allows you to add in multiple. So right now I just have best school readings, but I can go in and add more. So let's go back to the forest. And if I want to add a connected tree or a branch, I'm forgetting all my terminology now. So I'm just going to rename this as, we add a new branch. So if I do that, it will make a new page. And what it does is it adds notes, and then it will create a linked database. And what you need to do in this database is create a filter. So let's say I want the tags to be, not tags, the topic branches to be, I only have best school readings. So I'll put that here. But if I want to add more, let's say I want this page to be about urbanism in Asia. We'll go to East Asia. Just make it extremely specific for no reason. And then what you want to do is you want to click that and say urbanism in East Asia. And then you make that topic branch. And then you can add a bunch of other ones. So environmentalism, like sustainability in the private sector, whatever you want, just like, yeah, any tags. I would opt for maybe a bit broader, but really you can determine how broad or how narrow you want to be. It depends on how much specificity you want, how many articles you're web clipping. If you don't web clip that many articles, I frankly don't do that much. So I would add broader articles or broader topics. So I would probably do urbanism, environmentalism, sustainability, technology, etc., like broader topics as opposed to urbanism in East Asia. So let's say we want this page to be about sustainability, urbanism in East Asia. Then we say urbanism in East Asia, and that whenever we add a new article and web clip it, and we read it, and tag it as urbanism in East Asia, it will show up here. Because this is a linked database, it's a different filter. And so we can see both the table view and the gallery view. And we want both the table and the gallery to be filtered for that tag, for the branch to be the same one. And then you can add away any major notes or ideas that you came away with in this realm. And you can also add different logos, whatnot. What you can also do is create like big sections and then create smaller sections. So you might have environment, and then you might have sustainability or sustainability technology, sustainability theory, and just have like different pages within that. So it allows you to give the broader topic with more specificity underneath. And if you don't know how to format, one, you should learn how to format. And then two, so let's just say that this is, I don't have urbanism here, so we'll just go there. And then we can add a section, and that just, and then you can also add columns. But if we want to move this section below here, if we want columns underneath this section, what we can do is we can add columns. But because basically it's difficult to add columns within columns, so what you need to do if you have two columns, for example, I can't make a one. I can't make a column within a column, so it can only make bigger columns. So because I want a column underneath fill with your interests, what I can do is add column, and that'll make a page, and you can turn that page into text, and it will fill in with the columns. And that is your workaround for there not being columns. It's a very annoying thing that you have to do. But yeah, that's basically it. And there shouldn't be much else. There might be just some like random notes for you to that things you wanna look up. There also might be a book list if you want a specific book list. And oh, this is actually just the linked World Information Database, but it's filtered to only show books and books that you're reading, but you can also view done reading, up next, etc. And you can take notes on the book. Also, if you add a new thing inside this filtered view, it will show you, it will automatically fill in with the filtered properties. So I can also add my ratings, but then also take notes on this book if I want. Or notes here. That's it. Yeah.